Hey everyone, it's Juan here, back again with another tutorial. Here today, I'll be doing a tutorial on how to do a normal velocity. So right now on my After Effects, I have already put down all the beats in the audio. So right here, I am going to play it for you guys. So as you can see, I did mark each beat. So now I know that in this edit, I need 9 clips. So right here, and you click audio, and then you click on waveform, and right here, as you can see, here we have each bit of where it spikes up, and that is where each of your clips will be appearing in the edit. What I'm gonna do is that, like as you can see, in this part of the audio, I can add an intro of where it will fade into the first clip of the edit. So right now I am gonna go and find a clip. Alright, so right here I have chosen a clip for the intro. As you can see here we have our intro clip. So pretty much my idea is that when baby drops of Kay turning her head around, and that will be the first clip of the edit. I am gonna go and hit Control-Shift-C, which will bring me to this pre-comp page. I click all attributes to new composition. Okay, so now we have all this as its own composition. Pretty much right here where big beat dropped, I am gonna go and hit Control-Shift-D, which will split the clip at that point. So right here, as you can see, now the clip is split. So now on this specific clip, I can add Twixtor. So I'm gonna go here and click. I'm gonna go here and click Twixtor Pro. I'm gonna go and drag that into the effects and control panel right here. I'm gonna go untick this, check this to 23.976, so it matches the frame rate of the scene pack, and pretty much every film and show are filmed in the FPS. The better it will be on the slow-mo. I'm gonna go here, click best. Oh, sorry about that. I'm gonna go here and click this, then go here and click this, and then this to inverse a smart blend. Now we are done that part. Okay. Right here, I am gonna go click on the stopwatch next to speed. Click U on my keyboard. Need a keyframe at 100. So now I'm gonna go 2 frames down. I'm gonna put this to 200 speed. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4 frames down. We'll change this to about 40. I'm gonna select all this, right click, keyframe assist, and do easy ease. As you can see, it slows down. Obviously, it is not that polished right now, but I will fix that afterwards. So right here, we have the intro. So there you go. So now that we have done this, now we need a flash. So what I do is that I go over here, I do exposure. I put this exposure over on the control panel. I usually put the exposure at about 2. So then on the flash, I do this at about 2. I click the stopwatch. I press U on my keyboard twice. Then right here, I go to the end of the clip right here of where it's gonna be the next clip. I change this to about -4.5. And then obviously right here, it fades up too early. I select all this, I do F9. I go right over here on the graph editor. I click on that. And then I will adjust this graph of where pretty much I wanted to start fading out. So I'll do it right here. So as you can see, so now we're gonna do the blur, BCC lens blur OBS, and this is the most common blur that people do. I can see right here it's on iris scale 15. What I do is that I put the gamma all the way up to 1000. Then I click on the stopwatch. I press U again twice. And then after right here, I go to about right before the half point. So I'm gonna put it around right here. I go here, I do 0. It is a bit weird, the blur. So select all this, then do F9. I go right here, and then I change the graph to about like that. So there you go. As you can see, the blur goes out a bit too early. So what you can do is that you can select all this, hold Alt, and move this like that. So as you can see, we have our intro and our first clip, except right here, this looks a bit boring, right? So what I want to do is that I'm gonna make this fade in first. So I'm gonna hit T on my keyboard. I click on the stopwatch. I go at about right over here. I turn this down to 0. So now it'll fade in. I am gonna do a small fade out. So I'm gonna hit over here on my keyframe. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna turn this down to about 30%. There you go. So as you can see, I did this now. Alright, so there we go. So now we have done our intro and our first clip. So now I'm gonna go get all my other clips, so I'll be right back. So I've gotten all my other clips for the edit. So right here, when we have this clip, obviously, then this one, this one, this one. There we go. As you can see, there is no effects on this, so it is pretty boring. So what I'm going to do is that I am going to go pre-comp this. So Control-Shift-C on your keyboard. Do this, okay. And then I'm going to do this for each one. There we go. Pre-comp, pre-comp, pre-comp. I'll be pre-comps. Pretty much. There we go. And then an easier way to now do all these steps again is that I click at the start of this pre-comp. I click here, do Control A, Control C to copy. I go to this one, I do Control V. But now what's added, I'm gonna go and hit U on my keyboard, and as you can see, this keyframe is a bit short. So what I'm gonna do is that is a bit long. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna select this, hold Alt, and move this keyframe to the end of the clip. So now it fades out exactly on that clip. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna do over here again, Control V, it copies all the Twixtor, blur, and exposure. I click on U again, and this is a bit too long. I select this, hold Alt, move it here, and just repeat. I am gonna go extend this to the end, right? But I am gonna change this one to about -12, so then at the end it completely fades up the clip. There we go, we have applied Twixtor, blur, and exposure to each of these clips. So now that is how it looks. There we go, so that is not too bad, I would say. But one thing I'll say for sure is that if you don't have a good computer, make sure to have this preview on third or quarter, because if you don't, it will take a longer time to process each clip in itself, especially if it is a 4K scene pack. It will use more of your computer's CPU. So if you don't have a good computer, I would suggest you to edit on third or quarter, but personally I have a pretty good computer, so I edit on full. So what I'm gonna do now is that I am gonna add my own coloring. As you can see, I have added my coloring on an adjustment layer. In my next tutorial, I am going to explain how to make your own coloring, so stay tuned for that tutorial coming soon. So as you can see, if you add your coloring to an adjustment layer, you will see this thin line around the edit. So what you want to do is that you want to select all of this, right click, pre-compose, okay, and to remove this thin line, you click F on your keyboard and scale this down to about 101. So there you go. So now that thin line is now gone from the edit. Here is the edit so far with coloring. So I can see my coloring does make clips pop a lot more. It adds a lot of sharpen to it and coloring a bit to it, as it's called coloring. But pretty much as you can see, this intro is a bit boring. I am going to double click on this, click on here, and what I usually do is that I add a black and white filter to it, black and white under color correction. I drag that onto the intro. S underscore TV damage. I drag that also under here. I'll do this to 0.05. So there you go. It's a bit more lighter. There we go. Because there isn't a lot of movement in the clip, what I like to do is that I add a float shake. Pretty much what I do is that I add my own preset called a float shake. Pretty much if you want to add a small shake where it tilts around the edit, it does add a lot to the edit, so it's not that stiff. Pretty much if you want to add shake, you will go to here you will go here and you will do S underscore shake, and you would drag this onto effects control panel, and then you would copy these settings. These are the ones I use sometimes, and you do this, you can see it move a bit. There we go. So I can see there is a bit of movement and then it tilts around the edit, but as you can see there is a line over here on the right side, so you gotta go here. You will change this to about 103 or 104, and then it will cover that line. But you can also change it in the amplitude here, so I can change it to about 1. You can see it does move a lot more to the left and right, and it does add a lot of movement to the edit, so it will look better, I guess. And obviously I have a different blur and tweaker setting, but that's pretty much how you would do a basic velocity in After Effects. So thank you guys for watching this tutorial. My next one is going to be about coloring and quality. So in that one, I will do an in-depth guide about quality and about how you can make your own coloring. So stay tuned for that. Pretty much, I'll see you guys